Future Academic Scholars in Teaching Program, or the FAST Fellowship Program, as we like to call it, officially opened in the academic year of 2006. And the FAST Fellowship Program was started with the goal of trying to enhance the quality of undergraduate education. We were going to invest in the professional development of future faculty being our graduate students and postdocs. The idea is if we can enhance the quality of teaching and learning that they would provide as next generation of educators, is the quality of STEM education, of undergraduate education in general would increase.
So I had been a TA and was talking with other people in my program about ways to kind of get more teaching kind of professional development, because our program does a really good job with the research side, but you have to kind of look outside the program for more of the teaching professional development, which the graduate school does a great job on, but the FAST Fellowship seemed like a really good way to dive deeper into that, to think more about teaching pedagogy. And then also, it was the first time I've heard of this concept of teaching as research, to be able to use research in your classroom and kind of use your teaching as scholarship.
So a teaching as research project is to get them to think about how they teach, kind of like how they do their research projects. So in the research projects, they have objectives, they have different assessment methods, qualitative, quantitative assessment methods, and then they have their research activities and methods.
So my teaching as research project focused on using student response systems in the classroom, which are things like iClicker, Top Hat, Mentimeter. They're these electronic systems that the students can log into and essentially answer questions that the instructor is posing to them live in the class.
We want them to use what we call backward design in planning a teaching project. So they have objectives that are measurable. They have assessment techniques to assess whether students are actually learning what you teach them, and then to think about what teaching methods are you going to use to meet those objectives.
I learned how to collect data on student learning, which is something I continue to do today, sometimes for scholarly reasons, but in other times to collect data on my own teaching to help advocate for myself. I think FAST helped me get my first faculty position. I don't think I would have been as competitive for that position if I hadn't participated in FAST.
Professionally, I think a big reason why I got my future job as an assistant professor at a teaching institution was because of the FAST program.
Through my experiences, I learned to articulate my teaching philosophy. I was able to provide concrete examples of my use of pedagogical approaches as evidence of scholarly teaching practices.
Not only showing that, yes, I am from a research institution, but I put in a lot of work to develop myself as a teacher, and I've become engaged in these various different aspects, and I was invited back to come as the FASTer Fellow. Professionally, I really do, and I say this to a lot of people, I credit FAST a lot to being as competitive on the job market as I was.
Our FAST Fellows, 62% of them right out of graduate school, faculty positions, academic positions, compared to that report in other places that says it takes 3 years and 17% of them will have academic jobs. So it's not a experimental comparison, but it is a context.
So it's definitely had an impact on how I think about teaching and do teaching, but it's also just brought me into kind of a greater community of people at MSU who are thinking about doing teaching and teaching well. And that's been really helpful because I did FAST earlier in my graduate career to be able to still engage with that community so much.
I also had a learning community that helped me build confidence in my ability as both a teacher and a scholar, and that was really important.
We have anywhere from 9 to 14 students participating in the program in a given year. Next, the 2025 academic year will be the 20th cohort, and to date we've had 202 doctoral students in the program. We like to say once a FAST Fellow, always a FAST Fellow, so our FAST alumni are really scattered all over the world in a variety of academic and non-academic positions.
I would definitely recommend the FAST program. I think it has been really foundational in my development as an educator.
Do it. Put in the work to apply for it and do it. It was so rewarding to me personally and professionally that I cannot recommend it enough to the people around me.
It's a good way to kind of put some of your skills into practice and see a little bit more how you are an educator once you leave graduate school.
And that's particularly true for people who are just like me, who really want to teach, but haven't really had the opportunity to learn how to teach or what evidence-based teaching and learning is.
I feel really strongly that a firm background in the theory and practice of scholarly teaching and participation in the learning community and the ability to assess teaching and learning will serve you as a future faculty very well.
And knowing that now we have 202 of us out there in various academic, non-academic careers, using some of the skill sets that hopefully that they learned in the FAST program, gives me and the steering committee great pride.